Amazon Games is an MMO virgin, and all of us who have been playing the New World betas are like their first girlfriend. After a fourth time of them saying they're not ready, it's time for us ladies to just accept the fact that when they finally do give us their MMO virginity on September 28th, it's probably not going to be that great. And there's nothing wrong with that. There hasn't been a fresh, blockbuster MMO in the West that wasn't an expansion for half a decade. And if you're a competitive PvPer, try a decade and a half. So you can imagine the gamer chub I got when I noticed that this fall there's not one, but two promising MMOs launching. The double rainbow at the end of the tunnel.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Everyone seems to know about the first, New World, run by Amazon Games, but the second hardly anyone is talking about. Lost Ark, a Korean MMO being published in the West by Amazon Games. Based on everything I know, I think both these MMOs will be successful. Looking at pre-orders, New World already is. And I'm going to play both. But if we're talking about long-term staying power, I'd bet all my gold IRL that Lost Ark will be the one to absolutely blow up in North America and surpass New World within a few months.
Chill!
Even though hardly anyone is talking about it yet. If New World was a timid virgin frantically trying to please its girlfriend, Lost Ark is a Giga Chad from Korea who gets all the ladies. And here are 4 non-subjective reasons why it will beat New World. We all know how masochistically psychotic the PvPers for ranked online games can be. You have that one friend who's been grinding his remaining brain cells against the brick wall that is the League of Legends ladder for the last 10 years. And your favorite streamer has been gargling the used dildo that is WoW Arena for the last 15.
Oh, that's alright.
But there's a reason. It's because PvP content has replayability. And there is a huge market of people right now just itching for a good PvP experience. Like all those burnt out League of Legends and WoW players. Trust me, as someone who's used those two as my main PvP games for the last decade, there is an even bigger audience just sitting on the sideline, not really playing anything serious right now, biding their time for a good game. The combat in New World and Lost Ark both look great. I'd argue Lost Ark looks better, is more complete, and is much more similar to the type of PvP all these jaded players are looking for.
Oh my god, Draven ability!
But we're keeping it subjective.
That's alright.
After all, New World will probably do World PvP better. But if we are talking mass appeal, there's already an esports scene in Korea for Lost Ark with a developed meta. And most importantly, the game has not only a very high skill ceiling, but is actually balanced. There really aren't any bad or F-tier classes, and that goes for PvE as well. But how is this even possible? Well, Lost Ark has been out since December 2018, which leads us to number 2. It's important for people to realize that it's nigh impossible for a new MMO to release as a finished product. New MMOs are like every Steam Early Access survival game that ran out of money, so just launched to get more funds, but instead have official launches because hype and FOMO are drugs more powerful to MMO fans than heroin. Even if a game is bug-free, lag-free, and an all-around finished product, most still aren't going to have enough content to last more than a few months, and that's assuming the content is even good. Most people consider New World's PvE content to be average at best, due to the massive directional shift Amazon Games took after the 2020 beta, where players pointed out that the game had, no PvE content. And while Amazon Studios repeatedly pushed the game's release date farther back, it seems like it will inevitably just not be enough time to differentiate itself from the launches of those unfinished survival games on Steam. So consider this. According to data published Monday by Invent, the country's biggest game community, Lost Ark, ranked second after League of Legends, outstripping other online titles from the 3N game developers Nexon, NCSoft, and Netmarble. And it dominated the Korean Game Awards in 2019, winning 6 awards. Lost Ark is a game that has not only been out for 3 years, but has had success while doing it, meaning that it has 3 years of quality content built up periodically to release to its players. Even if coronavirus strains, Delta, Beta, and Siegfried and Roy locked down society again, Lost Ark would have plenty of content in the reserves. And it's going to be content that's polished, balanced, and fun-tested by a country full of gamers. I've been learning a lot about Lost Ark, so if you want me to cover it more in depth in another video, let me know in the comments. And on top of all of that, Lost Ark already has a proven track record for releasing timely PvE updates. According to Korean's top PvE player, there's high-quality raid content out every 2 months. These fights have complexity, different phases, mechanics, and surprisingly enough, they don't require the holy trinity of tank, DPS, healer to complete. While I know for some people this may be a downside, a downside for pussies, judging by the amount of time I waited for a tank and healer to join my group in classic TBC and in Shadowlands, I'm just going to assume the majority of you will count this as a huge dub. And for fights that still require a lot of people, there are plenty of world bosses, which New World seems to be lacking. Top it off with a gear progression system that involves utilizing professions, sailing with a ship progression system, and player housing, and you have a pretty complete RPG endgame. But coach, I heard Lost Ark is pay to win. It's going to kill the game. Well, you're not wrong. The game has some very clear pay to win, something that I despise in games. But to most people, there are enough things to do fairly that it won't matter. Myself, for instance, would play it just for the PvP. Let me explain. Lost Ark is free to play with microtransactions. New World is $40 box price with microtransactions. Neither games have a required monthly sub. Now, this already hints at Lost Ark having more widespread appeal, but there's more to it than that. Since this game already has a track record of success, it's more than likely going to keep a large chunk of those just trying it out. Now, for those worried that pay to win is going to ruin Lost Ark, there are 3 things you should realize. 1. The microtransactions do not affect competitive PvP in any meaningful way. 2. The microtransactions do not affect the highest end competitive PvE directly. And 3. The microtransactions do get you to that content faster and might make you slightly stronger than other players in the short term, but it will never affect your top-end performance. As long as the payment model of Lost Ark remains respectful to the hardcore players' efforts in the never-ending tug-of-war between them and the company, then this game will succeed, period. It'll allow casual players working 9-to-5s, or as I like to call them, suckers, to be the whales for the free-to-play guys who will be able to experience all the endgame content each patch cycle and never spend a dime. Now, when we look at New World, there's a lot up in the air about their in-game transactions, although Amazon's stated leveling boosts were going to be a thing, which is pretty similar to the type of time-saving boost offered in Lost Ark. I guess it's no surprise since it is the same company calling the shots, but we'll ultimately have to wait and see. With Blizzard shitting the bed in recent months and years, the MMO world is ripe to get shaken up, and with the release of New World and then Lost Ark, Amazon Games could quickly see themselves becoming the top dog in the MMO market. I truly think Lost Ark is going to be massive in North America, and I can't wait to cover it more in depth. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. Coach out.